a good friend of the show, Titans Radio Zone, Dave McGinnis. You can hear him on 145 The Zone and Titans Radio affiliates near you. Coach Mack, how's life treating you guys up there in Las Vegas, man?
Yeah, you know what? Everything is going good, brother. We're sitting here at 5-0, and again, still got a lot of work to do to get this team exactly where Mike Vrabel wants it. But when you can work on things and try to improve on things and adjust what you're doing and still be able to win ball games, it's a big plus. There's a lot of excitement here in Las Vegas around the Tennessee Titans. Everybody is really anticipating this game coming up this week that I know that we're going to talk about, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But things are going good. Went through some. Hopefully, we can all stay safe and healthy and continue to play good football.
I was going to ask you, Coach, how was you and your family throughout the pandemic? I know it kind of hit Nashville pretty good there for a while. They say I'm here in Atlanta. So how was you and your family through this whole pandemic? I haven't left town since March myself, Coach.
Yeah, well, everybody's doing good. I mean, you have to stay safe and you have to be sure and follow all of the protocols. But National Football League teams are like everybody else, in our society and really around the world. You just have to be very, very diligent. The National Football League has done a great job of putting a lot of protocols in place to keep everybody safe and healthy. And hopefully we can all continue on that path.
Most definitely, Coach. In last week's game against the Texans, Coach, I watched you on NFL Red Zone a little bit there, man, and I'll tell you what, Derrick Henry's amazing, Coach. He's just an amazing beast, man. He's just a heck of a player. Have you ever seen a running back explosive as he is in your time in the NFL? It can just make so many plays the way he does every night for the Titans on the field there, Coach.
Well, I mean, there's a difference. He's a different style of back. I mean, when I was here coaching, when CJ2K, Chris Johnson was here, and Chris, of course, was an extremely, extremely fast back, but he was a little more instant explosive. And, of course, clearly he did not have the size. The thing that makes Henry, and I've been around a lot of good ones in the league. I've been on the team with Walter Payton. I've coached on the team with Emmitt Smith. I've been around some great running backs, personally. But just watching Derrick Henry and seeing what he is, the thing that makes him so unusual is he's a real high cut back. He's a long back, but he's a powerful back. He's a good same foot, same shoulder back. He can run between the tackles very well. But when he gets unwound, I mean, he can run. And we saw that in that 94-yard run that he just had last week. Once he gets out and starts getting stressed out, DBs are not going to catch him. That's very unusual.
You got that right, and they don't want to tackle me, the coach, because I saw Josh Norman on Tuesday night against the Bills, coach. He kind of owned him like he was a child almost. DBs have to go low at Derrick Henry, but he can kind of run through those low tackles as well and still keep on trucking along and still go to the house like he does all the time anyway, Coach.
Yeah, well, his stiff arm is a real weapon. As I said, when I was on the Bears team, Walter Payton used to have a real strong, deadly stiff arm. Derrick Henry's stiff arm is very organic. He's done it ever since he's been running the ball, going clear back to his middle school days. But the thing that he was able to do, you talk about that high stiff arm where he put it right in Norman's chest the week before. Last week, Reed, the safety, came in on him on that 94-yard run and went low to try to cut him. And Derrick Henry just very easily and organically adjusted his stiff arm from high to low, pushed him by, and then, hit the afterburners and was in the end zone pretty quick. So he's a real natural runner with that stiff arm. That stiff arm is something they have to be alert and ready for. So again, it's just another weapon in his arsenal that, along this offensive line's been doing a really good job of being able to crease people. People are putting eight people in the box on him, constantly. He had the number one yards per carry last year with 8 or more people in the box, for the entire league. And this year, that's all he's done, for the 5 ball games. People have been stacked in the box. They have coming into the ball game determined not to let Derrick Henry beat them. And up until last week, really, they had done a decent job. Now, he'd still been getting his yards, but they weren't coming in big chunks. Last week, all of a sudden, all you have to do if you put a lot of people up there in the box is miss a gap or two, and all of a sudden you got a big man running in the open spaces on you.
And Ryan Tannehill, coach, is really doing a great job beating that 8-man stack boxes, those one-on-one coverages. A.J. Brown out there getting those guys involved as well. All the weapons you guys have in the receiving core as well. I saw A.J. Brown put Johnny Smith and got Pruitt coming back as well. All those guys, weapons the Titans have, coach. So if you stack the boxes, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill is playing such great ball, he can beat you with accurate throws as well over the top if you want to stop Derrick.
Well, that's what you have to do, and you know the run game is so big for the Titans that the play action has to work. And as you said, they put 8 people up there, then you're going to have one-on-one single coverage. If people are going to play single high safety against them to get 8 people down there in the box, then the receivers, and they've got a lot of weapons they can work with. And Ryan Tannehill, you know, in the last several weeks has distributed the ball during the game to double-digit receivers. And so he's got, you know, Arthur Smith has designed a really, really nice system that they use. They tailor every week to what the matchups will be. But once the players, he requires the players, once there's an 8-man front, they have to be able to beat man coverage, because that's what you're going to get when you've got 8 people in the box.
You got that right, Coach. And this week, you know, it's strengthened the run defense of Pittsburgh versus with Keith Butler versus the Titans running game strength of Derrick Henry. And so, Coach, you know, the 3-4 is like, you know, it's like don't eat up those gaps, right? And then you want to run blitz in there and stop Derrick Henry. But Pittsburgh defense is another level of Houston's is, of course. So how do you think this match is going to be with Keith Butler's defense versus Arthur Smith's offense? Because I know it's going to be a great battle for me to see what goes on the field there on Sunday.
Yeah, well, this is strength against strength. And what, you know, I've known Keith for a long time in my 35 years in the league. And Keith does a really good job, and he blitzes a lot. He blitzes second most of any defensive coordinator in the league. Chicago blitzes the most right now. And so what Keith does, he'll be bringing 5 and sometimes 6, you know, and especially early, as you said, you brought in the run blitz part of it. He brings his safeties in, you know, to run blitz quite a bit. His defensive front is very solid. He's got 2 great edge setters in Watt and Dupree, you know, on the edge. It's a big loss for them losing Devin Bush last week on the inside, because he was really a really fast inside linebacker that when they stack the line of scrimmage, they use him as an eraser, you know, to the edges. But he's going to blitz a lot, so you've got to be able to handle the pressure. You've got to be able to handle the pressure. You've got to be able to know that it's coming. You know, we lost Taylor Lewan last week to an ACL, and so Ty Sambrayo, who has played, you know, quite a bit in this league and has played quite a bit for Taylor, you know, during the course of this season. Taylor's been nicked up before we lost him to the ACL last week. He's been nicked up in some other games, so Ty has had some experience in their playing. But Arthur Smith, with his game plan this week, is going to have to handle that blitz, and there's different ways that you can do it with protections, and so he's going to have to match that up very well.
And Coach, the real key for Ryan Tannehill to really kind of look at the coverage and say, hey, do we slide to the left or we stay neutral or go to the right? Because it's going to be really key, those calls at the line, because, you know, Keith disguises those blitzes where they're coming from. So we're kind of like Wink Martindale does with the Ravens. So you never know where they're coming from. It might show you strong side, but come on the weak side and then blitz you. So you really have to really be key to knowing, hey, this is really what it is. We're going to slide this way rather than going that way this time.
Yeah, pre-snap recognition is really going to be big, and the other thing is when you are communicating pre-snap recognition as you get to the line of scrimmage, you know, before you decide what you're finally going to call. Everybody has to communicate very, very well, because that has to start. It starts on the inside with the center and the quarterback, and then it emanates out to everybody else, and it has to go clear out to your wide receivers as to whether they've got to adjust their splits or whether they've got to come over to another side, you know, of the formation. All of that stuff has to be communicated pre-snap, and it starts with the quarterback and the center being able to identify what they believe the pressure looks are.
And, Coach, on Pittsburgh's offense, this Claypool kid is taking off last week, Coach, and this Notre Dame kid, man. He's running reverses, catching passes for touchdowns, along with Juju Smith-Schuster as well, and James Washington, also Snell and Connor. So talk about the Pittsburgh offense versus the Titan defense and Mike Vrabel and those guys.
Well, yeah, Chase Claypool has been a really nice addition to them. You know, second-round pick out of Notre Dame. I mean, when he was at Notre Dame, people were wondering whether he would be an H-back, because he's about 10, 12 pounds heavier when he was playing at Notre Dame. Showed up at the combine, had lost those 10 or 12 pounds, had slicked up really good. You know, had a 40-inch vertical jump there at the combine, ran 4.42. And so all of a sudden now you've got a big combat catcher that can run. He's a matchup problem. He really is. You know, and plus they still got Juju. They still have Washington. They've got guys that can run, and you know, Eric Ebron, the tight end, James Conner, the running back. they've got weapons, and Roethlisberger's healthy. That elbow's healthy now. Their offensive line does a nice job of protecting him. He's got the arm to make all the throws all across the field. They're running a little bit of RPO with him now. So their offense is a real threat. And the Titans defensively, the thing they need to shore up, and Mike Vrabel has talked about this, for the last 5 weeks, is they've got to shore up their third down defense. They're really doing a good job on first and second down of getting people to third down and sometimes third and double digit, but they're not doing a good job of getting them off the field. Opposing offenses are converting 57% of their third downs right now against the Titans, and you just can't do that because that's giving the opposing offense too many chances at you.
Now, Coach, how's Jadeveon Clowney been playing for you guys? I've seen him on highlights. He's getting around the quarterback. He's rushing to pay fun of energy. So how's he been around the building every day and fitting in with Vrabel's defense again and causing havoc for you guys on defense as well? Kind of get the quarterbacks uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think he's getting comfortable in the system, and I think he's getting into football condition with what he's doing. He has been disrupted. He doesn't have the sack numbers yet, but he's got a lot of disruptions and a lot of pressures. And hopefully he can continue to gain footing and get in there. Also with Vic Beasley, hopefully he can get in and do that, to be able to help, with the rotation there at the outside backer, because you've got to be able to keep your defensive front fresh. Now that Jeffrey Simmons is back, you're looking for that. You're looking for a little bit more pressure from the people up front so that you can use a little bit more people back there in the coverage. So I would say that Jadeveon Clowney is progressing nicely since he's been here.
Coach Mack, I got to ask you, man, I know for you, broadcasting has been your new thing since retirement, Coach. I hear you on the broadcast. I hear you're enjoying your voice, man. How's it been, again, teaching listeners of Titans Radio and fans about the game of football, and Mike Keith as well, and how you bring energy to their broadcast every Sunday and giving the fans a great show? How's it been for you here every week, Coach? I know you're enjoying that, hearing your voice, man.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Yeah, after 31 years coaching in the National Football League, I've had several offers the last 4 seasons to go back into coaching, as a senior defensive assistant and as an assistant head coach. But I really like what I'm doing here. I love living in Nashville. I was out in California on Malibu Beach when they called me to ask me to come back here and do this. I absolutely love it. I love interacting with the fans. I've got several radio shows here now. I've got my own show on Wednesday night with our executive producer, Rhett Bryan, called Mac Talk, where I just talk ball with all the fans and let people call in and talk ball. And I just really enjoy it. I've enjoyed the fact that fans are now starting to be able to come back to the games, but I absolutely love calling these ball games. Working with Mike Keith, who is a Hall of Fame announcer, here in the state of Tennessee. I mean, it's just, look, it's a great life for Coach Mack right now. Believe me. And I feel very, very blessed and fortunate for this to be my 35th year in the National Football League. But it's very kind of you to say those things.
Hey, Coach, I tell you, you still coaching me, Coach. I hear you I say, Coach is coaching the listeners. He's coaching. But I say, if you listen to him, he's coaching you guys. Tell you about the game of football for free. Get a free lesson. I love it, Coach. You make me so much better at my job, man. You just don't know, man.
All right. Well, I enjoy being on with you. It's always a pleasure. I know you love ball. It's always great to see you. Hope we can see you again once this COVID knocks down some.
Yes, sir, Coach. Same here, man. Have a happy Sunday, Coach. I'll talk to you real soon, buddy. Stay safe, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, now it's Coach Mack on the Bossman Show.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Everyone's back in the Bossman Show with Morgan State Bears coach Kevin Brothers here. The Bossman Show. Coach is up there doing his thing up in Maryland. Coach, how are things going with you guys up there, man?
Everything's going well, man. Just trying to stay safe, stay COVID-free, and keep these guys healthy and just keep working hard.
Yes, indeed. Talk to us about that, Coach. Back in March and everything kind of went down. Where was your team at, and having to go from being on campus to being together to being at home in their own environment? So how was that for you and your team transitioning through the spring and summer there?
Well, it's interesting. I was just talking about that in the MEAC media day today. I think the best thing that happened was the MEAC shutting the conference down, because God forbid something would have happened. One of these guys would have got sick and something would have happened. The MEAC would have had a stain on them. So I'm glad they decided to shut it down like all the other leagues did. We were one of the last leagues that did it, but we got through it. And now, all summer we've been fighting, to stay afloat, all these universities, and keeping these kids, interested, and keeping these kids safe. And it's been different, but these are the times we live in, so we got to deal with them. I always tell our guys, you got to unexpected sometimes. And, it's a rough world out there. I always tell them, look out that window. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares. So you got to just, as a unit and a team, you got to stick together. So we've been sticking together, trying to make this work and do the best we can.
And speaking of that, Coach, how did you stimulate your young men's minds when they was at home via Zoom and FaceTimes and calls of that nature, keeping them academically engaged as well? So how'd y'all go about that, man? When kids are on devices, they don't know what's going on, like you said, unexpectedly stuff going on. So how'd you keep their minds sharp academically and with what's going on in their lives as well?
First of all, I told my kids, I said, this is where I am with this whole thing. I encourage you guys to go out and protest. Just don't do any looting. Don't do anything crazy, because this is about you guys' future. So get involved. Do things with your community. Do things with your region. And because I went out downtown DC, protested, walked through, and it was just an eye opener. Our folks was doing this 50 and 60 years ago. Now we're doing it, and I just told them, this is for your future. And having those conversations with them. We had guys really were out there taking pictures. I was out there. We told them, hey, this is a time to get caught up on your academics. This is not a free time to just go out there and F off. Go out there and be productive. Be productive in your community. Be productive with your families. Do things that you haven't done before, that you don't have to go out and do something crazy. So our Zoom calls were really good. Our guys were really good. And, everyone came back safe. And, we're just trying to make this work. I told him, see, in life, God puts things in your hands. He tries people that he know can overcome this. He
Most
knows who can
definitely.
overcome this. So we just gotta go with the script. Do what these people tell you, that the scientists tell you. Do what's right, and just keep marching forward. Don't be the weak link in the armor. So guys been doing really well.
Yeah, because you're 18, 19 years old, 20 years old. You want to go out to the mall, see a chick, hang out, go do something, but you can't because the one time you slip up, that could be the whole team and your season because one person exposed can mess up everybody for 2 weeks, and then you can't play. You worry about making up a game and figuring out schedules. It's already compromised as is. So just one simple mistake slipping can ruin it for everybody. And they hope they're glad they got that point because it's that serious right now.
Oh yeah. This is their livelihood, what they want to do, and I told them, take advantage of it. Don't complain. Just make the most of what you have. Some people have less. Some people want to be in your shoes. You don't realize what you have until it's taken away from you. And those guys said they're like, wow, we talking about that today.
You got that right, because, thinking about it, I haven't left Atlanta in 7 months, Coach. I'm a traveler. I travel all over. I haven't been left for 7 months, so having to readjust that, but finding my niche, which is helping the community with voting and helping us move forward as a city with community initiatives. So I found my way. I'm in my 30s, of course. I'm a little older than your players are, but being in my 30s, I understand that, but they haven't quite got that maturity yet. But I'm glad to have a guy like you to lead them and help them from that mindset, that mentality that, hey, when some don't go your way the first time, find other ways to impact. That's not the way you want to do, but find another way to do it because you can still impact in multiple ways, even off the court and on the court as well.
Absolutely. I tell you, it's funny you say that. I haven't traveled on a plane or bus since March. And I've had opportunities this summer to travel, and I just said, you know what? I'm just going to stay put. I haven't done anything, outside. I've been doing bare minimum, just going to work every day. I never stopped. I stopped for about 2 or 3 weeks. They told us not to come on campus, but other than that, I go to work every day. I've been more focused than I've been in many years with this. This COVID has really redirected my focus on other things. So it's been a blessing.
And Coach, how would you recap your year one at Morgan State? 15 wins there. You got 9 in conference as well, go 9-7 in the MEAC, which is great, over 500. So how would you kind of recap your first year and how you feel about the foundation you laid here going forward as well?
I think, we made the most of what we had. I thought we could have won a few more games, but there were some games we could have lost down during the season. So I think we had an average year, a little bit above average, and we just want to build off of that. We want to send a message to the league that, we're going to play hard, we're going to play smart, we're going to play together. So I think we started that off. Now we got a few more guys, and hopefully it goes in the right direction, goes up.
And speaking of that, as far as the offseason when guys are at home, did you all kind of watch a little bit of film on your Zoom calls as well, kind of keep some teaching while they was away and also keeping them in somehow shape? Did y'all have them send them workouts to kind of keep them so they won't come back to you so raw? We have to start from scratch to get them ready for November 25th here coming up real soon.
We didn't send a lot of stuff out on Zoom. We did send workout stuff out, but we didn't look at plays and we didn't diagram things. I didn't want to overload their mind with basketball. I wanted them to want it. So we didn't do a lot. So I wanted them to want to get back. And a lot of them wanted to really get back because we didn't do the things. Some people saying, they would send film and they would talk about this. And guys would get complacent with that. I didn't want that. What I wanted to do is make these guys hungry and wanted to come back. And these guys was itching to get back. And when we got them back, they were hungry.
Yeah, and in the ramping up process, Coach, you want to make sure they don't get hurt. They're so excited, that soft tissue injuries can linger all year long because that's the thing you want to avoid. So how's that being kind of ramp them up so they won't get hurt and having to make kind of monitor to make sure they don't go too hard and injure some where you got a nagging injury all year long?
Yeah, it's the thing, Knight. We getting to that point now. We're going to have to play someone soon because our guys are starting to chop at each other. We've been going for a minute now since we've been back, and we've been getting it in. And I think we've had a good so far preseason. We just got to stay afloat and keep guys healthy, and just make the most of it because guys can get bored with what they're doing. So what we got to do is make it interesting and make it tougher than what they're going to see during the season.
Most definitely. And, speaking of your schedule, I can only imagine, losing 2 weeks of non-conference games is Kyle had your mind racing to find games. So how was that been? Also, with the other factor of, hey, some cities have quarantine, some don't. Some schools do, some don't. So how has that been trying to get games knowing that, hey, you got to follow all these rules and make it fall just right to get it done the right way?
And this scheduling thing's been a nightmare. I mean, our schedule has changed daily. We had our schedule done. Then when they changed it back for 30 days, we had to start over. Then we had halfway done again, then teams dropping. I mean, we got calls today for 2 more, and it's basically done, but it's not done until you get the contract. So we're close now. I think we got a good regional schedule, a doable schedule, and we just got to make the most of it. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect this year. And I think with the schedule being made, it's still going to be changes during the year.
Most definitely. And I've seen some of them contracts, Coach, those COVID clauses, man, they're ugly. If it's fans, it's this number. If they're offense, this number. And I hate being on your end of it because I know you all have to play for money games for raise money for your school, and they just doing what they gonna do. It's just crazy that you got to deal with these different clauses. I begin because guys send me the contracts. I'm like, I wouldn't sign that if I didn't have to.
We had a contract that had something in it about $500, and none of us could understand it. And we had to go back and forth, and it made no sense. And then they had to change the wording. Then it made sense, but. These contracts now are tricky. You got to read them.
You got that right. And, it's so funny, Coach said it because I said, you all, this is what helps raise money for you all's university. A lot of people don't understand it about the MEAC. Like, you have to raise money for university. It plays for other sports, too. So you have a responsibility not only to yourself, but also the university to bring in a certain amount of income. But thank God that ADs and presidents understand it during this COVID period. Hey, the money ain't out like it used to be because they don't have money to give away like they used to.
Oh, yeah, the money is not even close to how it usually is. So, but we're going to make it work for the money they send us.
Most definitely. And, Coach, I know a lot of teams been going out to vote as well. So, excuse me, young man, about the election coming up here real soon. You're in the DMV area, of course, up there in Maryland up there. So, how have you talked about your team was getting registered to vote, getting them out there to vote, and how they going to need to get engaged in their civic duty as well, along with also the community as well?
All our guys are registered. We're going to make sure that it's a day off. And we're going to use it wisely. We're going to go out and vote, and we're going to make the most of that day and just hope for the best, pray for the best, and may the best happen. We got to make some changes, and we know we are part of it. And these guys, like I told them, this is their future. They got to think smart about this. So not telling them who to vote for, or just trying to give them guidance of how to pick a opponent for yourself and for what you stand for and where you come from.
Now, Coach, I heard on Tavares Hardy the other week. He told me great things about you. You're all both in Baltimore there. So tell us about Coach Hardy from your end. He talked about you really well when he had him on. So tell us about your man, T. Hardy, man.
T. Hardy is one of the best, man. Let me tell you, he's one of the brightest minds out there. Smart mind, knows the game, played the game. I mean, he has that as I tell our guys, he has that IQ, that high IQ about the game. Good brother, really good brother. And going to win there. He's going to win there. We was going to play, and I'm glad the COVID, they couldn't play in the fall. So I told him, you know what, we're not going to play. It's hard enough winning, and then when you got to play against your friends, I said, you know what, we'd be better off just scrimmaging, because I went through that when I was at Binghamton playing one of my best friends in the business, Carl Hobbs at GW. And one year we beat him. And I was happy, but when I walked back to my office, how I felt wasn't right. So I said, I can't keep doing this. I'd rather not play my friends. And T. Hardy falls in that line. I mean, he's a good brother. He's got that team trending up, and I know they're going to win. And I tell you what, we were lucky that we didn't have to play him this year, because I'm telling you, he's going to have that team playing well. He's going to have them playing well.
That's what I got for you, Coach. How's it been for you coaches to get on Zooms together and fellowship and not be so cutthroat, where people kind of letting their guard down a little bit and having them be more open about things and how they do stuff? So how's that been this offseason to kind of, with this COVID thing, get to know guys who you might not have known in the business and learn about other ways things are done via the Zooms you guys have been doing this offseason?
And I tell you, it's been really good for me. I'm on the one with a bunch of Philly guys, and a bunch of them I knew, some of them I didn't know as well. Some I just knew in passing, and we've gotten really close. They've come down. We fellowship down here at the Harbor. I'm going to meet a couple of them, just to fellowship, and they come watch our practice. We go watch their practice. I mean, it's been really good, man. This has brought people probably more together than it ever has. All the Zoom, but it depends on you as the individual how you take these Zooms and what you do with them. So I've taken them serious, and I've taken it to the point where I met old friends, new friends, and Dawn Staley is one of I'm on twice a week with her. She's unbelievable. Kevin Baggett, Jeff Arnold, Bruiser Flint, all the Philly guys. The old coach at Morgan, Todd Bossman. I mean, we're all, we have a group of people. We got some women coaches involved, the coach at Niagara, coach at UMass Lowell, women's coaches. I mean, it's been beautiful for me.
Most definitely, always going to learn. And so I've been on some of the calls the other guys have had, man. They're talking a lot about basketball. I kind of thought I knew some stuff about some basketball, but I've learned a lot this offseason about basketball because it helps me as a radio host to talk to my guys about it, about what I see on the court now, so it's been great, Coach Bro. So I know you got things going up there in Morgan State, man. I'm be cheering you guys on. We got to do this again real soon, Coach, and stay safe, man.
When you come up this way, please come see us.
Well, as soon as I know what the schedule for the Hawks when they play the Wizards, I'll let you know. Because that's when I can come up to Baltimore and make the little drive up there to see you, man, when we get to the hotel in D.C.
Do that, brother. I appreciate it.
No doubt, Coach. Hey, man, be safe. Wish the team best of luck and stay healthy. And everybody be safe up there in the city, man. Baltimore City, man.
Thank you. You do the same.
All right, Coach. Be good, brother.
Brother.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today, True Speech and 313 Fresh, Family Grind ENT. Believe in it, get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay. Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.
All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show. Before we get started with my guest, Kenny Blakeney of the Howard Bison, my good buddy. He'll be on here with me bi-weekly here going forward. But, folks, go to BossmanShow.com. Top of our page, click the Amazon tab, Amazon banner, and shop through Amazon through the Bossman Show. When you do that, you help us, help the community of Atlanta. We're trying to raise money for Christmas for people, get people some good stuff for them for Christmas. So we help us help the community. Bossman.com. Click up the Amazon banner, top of our homepage, shop through our website, and we'll get a little kickback for whatever you buy. They'll send us our way to help the community of Atlanta. So, folks, please do that for me here. Thank you so much. And now I'm joined by my weekly guest, Coach Kenny Blakeney of the Howard Bison. Coach, how life been treating you since me and you last talked, man?
What's up, boss man? Everything is well on my end. I hope all is well. I know it's beautiful and sunny down in ATL right now, and I hope everybody's staying safe and well, man.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, last time we talked, man, people don't know about this. Me, you, and I know we having you on bi-weekly now, and we talked about it last time. We're making it happen in reality. So how's it feel to be able to come on the show bi-weekly now? We talk at least every 2 weeks, man, talking about the Howard Bison, helping the ATL and people globally know about your program here going forward.
Well, it's kind of cool, man, that we're able to do this. It's you have a little bit of I think, a peek behind the curtain with our program, probably more than anybody else in the country right now. So I'm excited to share that with you. I'm excited to for your listeners to understand and learn more about our program, and looking forward bi-weekly to our conversations, man. I really appreciate what you do, and looking forward to having these future conversations, talking about Howard Bisons and other things in sports.
Now, Coach, what I love about your program is how you guys value that academic piece of it first and foremost, and you guys care about your players as young men first and foremost. So I definitely want to share my listeners, show them that, hey, this program is basketball program, yes, but Howard, the university, really cares about academics, getting young black men, young men from all over the country, education, and they have basketball for you, who's a great coach and can help these young men grow for the next 40 years of their lives here.
Yes, sir. I think that's very important. You know, when we're talking about the Howard University brand, we're talking about excellence in black education. And I think we can take that a little further, being a top 80 university in the country, excellence in education, period. Our president, Dr. Wayne Fredericks, along with his cabinet and administration and board of trustees, has done an incredible job of taking the university and kind of lowering the ranking from, 150 something probably when he got the job, now we're ranked up to the number 80th school in the country. And I think that's a great jump. It says a lot about who he is as a man, who he is as a person, as an alum, the work that he's put in. And for us to be a school that is an elite academic school, we talk about us being one of the top 1% schools in the country. That's a heck of an accomplishment. And so, my background, playing my basketball and attending DeMatha Catholic High School, going to Duke University, having a chance to work at Columbia and Harvard, I think just parallels, what we're trying to get done here at Howard University.
And Coach, speak to this for our listeners here. The support when you get it from above, from your AD, your president, that is so paramount to success of any program at a university, especially basketball, especially where you have to raise money outside of just playing the games to go out and take some L's, unfortunately. But the fact that you have support from the top down to make sure the academic piece of it is taken care of, when they're on campus taken care of, the facilities are great. So talk about that for our listeners who don't really understand that, hey, it starts from the top down to where you have a great product on basketball court as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there has to be a partnership between the president, his cabinet, his administration, the board of trustees, and our athletic director, and then with the athletic coaches itself. It can't get done otherwise than that. There are so many different things and protocols that you have with intercollegiate athletics and being on a college campus that it's not a seamless process. And if you don't have the administration, the president, the athletic director that has your back, it can be really, really challenging in trying to get some things done. We're very fortunate. We just had a contribution of $1 million donated to our basketball program from a classmate of mine at Duke University by a guy named Randy Chen. Randy lives over in Taiwan and has looked from afar and seen how we've kind of step by step taken strides to improve our program, and wanted to be a vehicle of help and support for us to take the next steps to improve our infrastructure, our practice facility, our offices, our locker room. So we're really appreciative, and all those efforts wouldn't have happened if we're not aligned with our president, his administration, his board of trustees, and our athletic director, Mr. Kerry Davis.
You got that right, Coach. And what I want to listeners to understand is that you are a great fit because, as you mentioned, you played it with the Master High School, worked at Harvard, because you've worked in schools where academics are paramount, first and foremost. So I feel like you getting hired last year was like the perfect fit for this program going forward. I can only imagine that once you get everything where you want to get it, you have 10 guys from the DMV, which we'll talk about next year. I mean, listeners, Coach Blaney has it set up for success here at Howard with the support he has from above as well, and around the community of DC and the DMV for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It takes a village, right? It takes a village to build this thing. And I think, when we're looking at this, there's so many years that the program has kind of not been successful, to say it very politely. And there's a tremendous opportunity, especially as you mentioned, we have 10 young men from the DMV on our team. With the community support here in Washington, D.C., the administrative support, the campus support, to really get this thing rocking and rolling. It's going to be tough. And I think the expectations, I want to temper those a little bit. We were 4-29 last year. And, with the recruiting class, having McCord Maker and other guys, Nojel Eastern transfer from Purdue, Raheem Ali, Jordan Wood, Steve Settles is a redshirt freshman. With having the guys that we have in our program now, the expectations and that bar has been raised. And my thing is we're still a team that was 4-29 last year. All of our guys that we're coming in right now are freshmen. We have a few transfers that gives us a little bit of age, but none of those guys have done much on the Division I level. So it's going to be a step-by-step process. But I think because of the expectations and us now having a target on our back because of some of the recruiting victories that we've had, that bar has been risen a little bit.
And, Coach, talk about the recruit the DMV, having 10 guys on this roster from the DMV, which is very, very great. And it's similar to what Ron Hunter did here in Atlanta with Georgia State. He also wanted to target guys from Atlanta and have on the roster for him when he played here. He was at Georgia State down the road from where I'm at right now. So talk about making sure you kind of defend that DMV firewall, getting guys from DMV that's talented, keeping them at home and playing for the Howard Bison.
Yeah, it's Bossman. It's one of those things that I watched one of my mentors, Coach John Thompson, do when he was the head coach at Georgetown University. In the early 80s and in the late 70s, he really did a great job of keeping guys home, recruiting the public league kids in the city, having a roster that included so many guys from the DMV. And for me, it's very helpful because part of understanding how to build this thing is knowing where your players are from, who's coached them, what leagues they've played in. All of those things are so important. And me being a Washingtonian, even though I've been gone for a while, I still have kept my finger on the pulse of DC basketball. I'm very knowledgeable and have a great relationships with a lot of the coaches, AAU coaches, the workout guys here in DC. So it gives me a blueprint and a roadmap to those guys' DNA. So when we're recruiting a young man, I know where he's from. I know probably his family. I know his high school coach. I know that he's been tossed in the fire in some of the most competitive leagues in the country. So it allows us to kind of speed our process up in coaching him and not worried about some of the things that he might have not gotten through that process of going through his high school years.
Most definitely. And speaking of one of your young men from DMV, Mr. Bristol, I must tell you, Coach, I've heard a lot of great things about it. Tell us a little bit about that young man and what he's going to be bringing to your team this year. And, also, Coach, I saw he loved Chick-fil-A, which warms my heart being an Atlanta guy because Chick-fil-A is very popular down there. So that warmed my heart, too, about him as well. He's a Chick-fil-A. Tell us a little bit more about Wayne and what he's bringing to your team, man.
Yeah, he's a pretty neat. He grew about an inch over the summer, so he's like 6'7" right now. And I've known Wayne for a very long time. His dad was a terrific basketball player at High Point High School here in PG County, a suburb of Washington, D.C. And the dad went on to play college basketball at the University of Maryland. So we had some battles in high school and also in college. And throughout the years, we would always bump into each other. Him having a son or a family that was involved in basketball, me being a coach, our paths always crossed. So when I understood little Wayne was going to be a prospect, he wanted me to follow his progress a little bit. And I started recruiting Wayne when I was at Columbia, and Wayne was a student athlete at that point at Riverdale Baptist, and then going to transfer to St. Thomas More up in Connecticut. So I've known Wayne, had a good relationship with him, and it seemed like a very natural transition with him being a mentee of mine at Howard. But he's a young man that has great character. He's a faith-based driven young man. He's a guy that works his butt off. Like I mentioned, he's 6'7". He's last year he shot 40, 50, 80 from the field. So 40% from the 3-point line, 50 from the field goal line, 80% from the 3-point line. Averaged about 13 points or so. Was the MEAC Rookie of the Year. And we're very happy that we have him in our program. And, with this new rule, Bossman, we could have him in our program for the next 4 years, man. So, last year might have been a free year. They're allowing every student athlete in college basketball a redshirt year this year because of COVID and some of the mental stress and anguish that comes along with that. And also with us not knowing how long we'll be able to play this year. So Wayne's a young man that he's on time and on target to graduate. He can leave Howard with 2 degrees, man, over a 5-year period. So really looking forward to him, looking forward to his progress and improving throughout the years. But he's somebody, man, that, a lot of people are excited about. I've talked to NBA scouts about him because of his size and ability to shoot the ball. So he's going to have a bright future.
Now, Coach, kind of read my mind. I was asking about that rule that just came down, having the 5th-year eligibility now, so you can really grow your program even more. And, as those guys may get junior and seniors in that extra grad year, hey, it could be scary for some guys because, hey, you'll have a team that's older and developed and have been in your program for years and can just do like clockwork. We got it going on. So how about that rule? And it's going to really help guys like yourself where you can keep young men who's real talented on your team there.
Yeah, it definitely, and I think a big part of it is that we got good young men that you want to continue to coach year in and year out. We don't have guys in our program that we're trying to run off after their eligibility is up. I want to keep these young men in our program for as long as we can, and I think, by doing so, it will allow us to be a little bit older. You see teams like a VCU, you see teams like a Butler back in the day, you see teams like a George Mason. When they make their run, they're making their run with an older senior-led regime that has been together for a number of years. They understand. They've gone through the tough times. They've gone through the struggle. And now they're on that other side where, they're playing teams that are these blue bloods that have kids that are one and done that are 17, 18 years old. And these kids that are 23, 24 at these mid-major schools are kicking their butts because they're men. And I see that's something down the road that can possibly happen for us. So looking forward to keeping these guys together. I just hope they don't get tired of hearing my voice too much.
The ALL love you, man. I'll stay with your coach. I'll make sure with myself. I'll tell you, stay with Coach Blakely. He's going to take care of you for sure. I'll make sure that, Coach, for you, man. Use it maybe for the Bossman show. Now, Coach, I saw an interview you did talking about how you do talking about the NBA plays and how to use McCoy makers. So how fun was it kind of looking at NBA schemes, how you run those certain schemes, off ball screens, different kind of sets and flex cuts and those nature to kind of use his talent this year out there for you guys to kind of play like this is basketball almost for your team and make it hard for guys who want to have to defend you all.
Yeah, it had my brain spinning for a while, to be honest with you, because it was like a foreign language. I'm seeing stuff and I'm starting to understand stuff that I've never kind of taken a look at. I've always been a guy that has been, in high school we played motion. Most of the universities that I've coached at, we were a motion team. At Duke University, we're a motion team, and now we're putting in concepts and different kind of plays that NBA teams are doing. Or European teams are doing that kind of opens up the floor a little bit more for us, gives us and allows us a little bit more spacing. it's a fun style to play, a fun style to watch. And I'm really looking forward to having the chance to, implement it in with our guys and seeing them kind of, I think, have a chance to just kind of play around with it like it's a new toy. Because the rules of it, the rules of it are very limited. So there's a lot of freedom. It just a lot depends on where the ball is at a particular time on the court and what bodies are on that side of the court. So a lot of concepts, a lot of stuff on ball spacing, a lot of stuff on spots. We call them spacing spots. So it should be a lot of fun, boss man. I'm having fun kind of putting it in, and I think our guys are having fun playing it.
You got that right, Coach. So I know being around Atlanta Hawks and watching the Hawks play, and it's always interesting to watch the sets that we run and knowing how we use certain guys in certain spots, how I use the pick and roll to kind of get guys in different matchups, and then seeing some teams help off the corner, on the strong side corner. Some don't, some hit, sometimes do gaps and slots. So just seeing what we do and shoot around and practice in the game, see how it works out, and just seeing how it all the chess game between Coach Lloyd Pearson, whoever we're playing, it's always exciting to me. So I know for you, seeing it like, yeah, it's fun for your guys for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think a part of it is that we're going to more positionless basketball. We have a lineup where we can have 4 guys on our team that are 6'10" or taller on the court, and with a 6'7" guy on the wing as well. So, we're thinking in a way of moving our game and shifting to more of the NBA style. For us, when we're presenting our university and our program to some of these 5-star and 4-star young men, they want to have an opportunity to showcase their skills and ability in a pro type situation and set. So, we're going to provide them that opportunity because we know if we can put them in that system for a year, the transition for them that's going from college to the pros or several years would be easier for them, and language and some of the concepts and sets that we're running all translates to the NBA level.
And think about this college game that's still kind of fun to me, but also when the NBA don't really do it because of the rule we have. They can't be in the lane for more than 3 seconds. But the drop coverage on that, a lot of teams run the drop. Some don't want to go over that, wants to give you the 3-point, like Milwaukee, like they want to pack the paint. And just watching that stuff, Coach, to me, to me, it's exciting because seeing, like, I know because Bud was here with the Hawks, it was like pack the paint, give up the threes, we don't care. Same with the Wizards, Scott Brooks. He don't care about giving up threes. He wants us to protect the active paint. Some teams want to do drop coverage like the Clippers are a drop coverage team. Some are over the screen and switch everything like Houston does. So it's all those different ideas, ideologies of how to play the game of basketball. To me, it's so fun. In college, you can still throw any kind of defense at you. Whether it be a boxing 1-2-3, 1-3-1, 3-2, whatever. But Toronto does it in the NBA, but nobody else really does it. And Miami does to a degree as well. But it's fun seeing how then we get coached all kind of different ways, and it all works for depending on your personnel. It works better for some and others, not so much. But it's fun to be able to have those options to go though, for whether you want to do it that way or not, Coach. That's great to me.
No, absolutely. And we follow the Heat a whole lot. And you said Coach Bud, that's another program that we've really followed a whole lot over the COVID period. Those are 2 teams that we've actually studied the most, to be quite honest with you. In terms of the Miami Heat, we've studied their zone and we've studied some of their offensive concepts. And then with Coach Bud and where he's at out right now in Milwaukee, we've studied what he's done with the Greek Freak and have stole some of his stuff that he does with Giannis, and we've implemented it into our system for McCord. So those are 2 programs that you've targeted right on. With the Miami zone, they do some neat things. And, one of the things we do is I've gotten from Coach Jerry Tarkanian is the amoeba defense. And we implemented it last year. It was something that I thought we had some success with. It's a very difficult, I think, defense to understand because there's so much communication that you got to have in it. But it's also a very difficult defense to try to go against. It takes like an amoeba. It takes the shape of the offense. So you don't know if we're in man. You don't know if we're in zone. Using a 30-second shot clock, it also adds some game pressure to the shot clock and to the game clock that can be advantageous for us as that shot clock is getting a little bit lower down in time.
You got that right. And Miami is always a tough game for the Hawks. We was up by like 12 points last year, and Miami came back on us and got to overtime and beat us in overtime, and we had to fly right out to Chicago, Coach. It was a long night. It was a long night.
Yes.
We had that game won, and then we just lost it. But what I love about Miami is that they help off the strong side corner, which is rare in the NBA. Most are not going to do that. And we gotta make sure Cam Reddish in the corner or Kevin Herter to make sure that make them not do it, but they do it. They do it so much. But my Eric explosives like gaps and slots. That's all we care about. We're gonna make sure to protect the paint. So the seeing the matchup, we play the Heat 4 times a year. So seeing that is so fun, and seeing how he throws defense at Trae Young, throws them off. I know in Atlanta we was up and he threw at us some zone and threw us all off. And we ended up winning the game. So Eric just changes whatever he adjusts so great in game, which is so a coach. For me, coach, it was really important for any kind of coach in basketball. Is like, hey, adjust. If your game play's not working that day, change it up a little bit. Don't just be stubborn about it. Change it up. I know you want to execute what you do, but sometimes, hey, it's not working tonight. Let's go to our plan B, C, and D if we have to.
No, absolutely, boss man, and that's something. Watching the Heat, they've done 2 neat things. 3, no, that's one I'll add with it. They've put their bigger guys up on the front of the zone, which makes that wall even bigger. The other thing is they don't funnel down the sideline. They funnel everything down the middle. So they want you to come into the middle where they got Bam, and then they have that length that's out front that can block from behind. And the last thing, like you said, is that they really help from that back line, especially in the corners. And now with the corner 3 being the highest percentage 3-point shot that's made, a lot more people are saying to stay home on that corner 3, don't help in the corners. But I think they have guys that are so experienced, guys with such a high basketball IQ, that they understand how to close out after helping in that corner. But also they teach what we call blow-by closeouts. So they'll run by you on the closeouts. Instead of some guys will stop and chop and stay in front, they're closing out and going by you on their closeouts. So they do some really neat stuff, but I think you got to have the right personnel to play and defend the way that they do, because they have a tough group of guys, as you can see. One of the things that I've done, boss man, is I wear 2 hats at practice. And the 2 hats I wear is one is a Miami Heat hat, and the other is a Los Angeles Laker hat. And the reason I do that is because both of those teams didn't make the playoffs last year. And they both this year were competing and contending and won the world championship. So for us, having a team that won 4 games, I just want them to understand and have a little bit of some symbols around our program that can be inspirational to them as we go on this journey of trying to be a team that's a contender, and hopefully a team that can compete well enough to do something that's pretty special and unique.
And Coach, how's practice been for you guys? I know you all got started on the 14th, the 15th there, a little bit out a week or so ago. So how has it been going so far, and how are guys picking up what you're teaching them right now?
I'll say, boss man, it's been going well. We've had a lot of fun. It's been very tough because guys have been in the house for 5 months or so. You guys are feeling it a little bit. We had to temper down practice yesterday and just kind of do a shooting individual workout yesterday, and then today we gave them the day off. So guys are getting a little beat up. Guys have some nicks and bruises. Some tendonitis is flaring up. But overall, I think we've done a good job. One thing I'm really happy about with our guys is they've done an unbelievable job just being disciplined. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about COVID. We've been able on campus to kind of build a semi-bubble from them to try to limit their footprints. And they've done an unbelievable job following the protocol and staying diligent with that. So it's allowed us to kind of stay in the gym a little bit and take some steps forward with such a young team, especially during this time that's very challenging for everyone.
Coach Blady, thank you for your time today. Look forward to talking to you. Like I said, our weekly conversations, this has been great. Talking some ball with you today, just get us some schemings, which it was fun, man. This is the segment one. We're gonna have some great segments this year. If this is how his day one with.
Hey, man, I might have to put you on staff for all the basketball you know, man. You got a great basketball IQ, boss man.
Hey, I would love to, man. You know, I've been around it for 8 years. I'll pick up some stuff here and there now.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, buddy.
All right, you too, Coach. Be safe now.